Hello and a really warm welcome to today's coffee chat with me, Rachel Smith. So very warm welcome to you. Decided to change where I'm doing my live. I had to accidentally do my one of the wealth workshop sessions on my iPad. I was like, do you know what? It's really nice to change things up. So I thought I'd come down the stairs. It's a little bit noisy because of the rain, but we will get started. So today we're going to be talking about saying goodbye to fear. Okay, so you may be thinking, I'm not that fearful. Fear can actually show up in business in all sorts of different ways. And again, following on from the content from the wealth workshops, it's very much thinking about how your brain is programmed. And often if you have been meeting resistance in business, it can be that you are now programming yourself that it's not safe for you to take that particular action, and therefore next time you're thinking about taking that action, you are stuck. And that is when you are stuck with fear. So let's talk about how fear shows up first of all, so we can all pinpoint fear. And we all have it. It's just that you learn how to deal with it. And I have, fortunately for you, got some strategies for you to use as well. So fear shows up in that sensation that you can't move forward, that you feel really stuck. Perhaps you feel really confused about what direction to take your business in next. That is definitely some underlying fears, blocks, challenges that you are currently facing. It can also show up as procrastination. You know, perhaps you're just week after week after week seeing the same things turn up on your to-do list, and you don't have the inspiration or the energy to actually see those actions through. And they're often the actions that will see you grow. Fear also definitely shows up as imposter syndrome, that kind of sensation that you're not good enough. Fear often kind of hides in those fears that we all have. You know, it's like, you know, am I good enough? Am I as good as that person? Why would somebody actually pay that price for me? So that is a real strong indication that you have got a level of fear creeping in there, because the fear is, if you're dealing with something like imposter syndrome, the fear is what will people think about me? What if I go out there and do a live and I look silly? What happens if I do a live and nobody's on the live? What happens if I go and write a blog post and somebody comments on it really badly? Or I write a social media post really being vulnerable and a family member sees it and takes umbrage at what you share. That is fear. So when you're thinking about fear, yeah, there are definitely distinctions of fear. So I used to have the fear of speaking in public. I used to really allow this fear to shape I definitely allowed it to shape my career, and I was in danger of allowing fear to shape what my business looked like. So fear shows up in all sorts of different ways. And when we are fearful, it means that we feel as though we can't move forward because it's not safe. And that's what happens. But as we explored in the wealth workshops, there are lots and lots of techniques that you can use to retrain yourself that actually what you're looking for is the very thing that you are fearful of. And the techniques help you overcome that fear and to give you the ability to move forward. So that's what fear is. That's how it shows up in business. So you may be like, oh, I am fearful actually. And now we're going to talk about, you know, what happens when you're fearful. So let's say that you had a fear of visibility. That is a massive fear. I've already shared that one of my fears previously has been about, and we can explore that a little bit further because I think it's really valid, is so when I retrained to be a life coach in 2007, I was at the time a marketing communications manager for a transformation program in a large organisation. And as the marketing and communications manager for that transformational program, it was my responsibility to obviously be like an ambassador for the program, for the change, because we needed like cross-organisation buy-in. So I definitely had a fear of speaking. Now, I was fairly comfortable with going and speaking at other people's meetings, so strategic meetings, board meetings, that sort of thing. But in terms of actually addressing a large audience, I was really, really fearful of that. And I would put every obstacle in the way, I would sabotage every opportunity. And the sabotage for me around visibility that came up for me was that I would not prepare for my presentation, and I would get in front of the audience, which was the inevitable, and I would be underplanned, underperformed, prepared. And as the good saying goes, like fail to plan, plan to fail. And I, as the marketing and communication manager, definitely sabotaged myself and did not give myself the best possibility and opportunity at those opportunities to go in and speak and impact positively to lots of people about the program. So kind of fast forward to when I started training as a life coach, and I was like, oh my God, this is going to be amazing. I'm just going to like sit here in my own gorgeous space. And at the time it wasn't about video, most definitely, it was just about writing, which I was quite happy to do, obviously. And that really, really appealed. And as I got into my life coach training, I could see that actually the way that you could massively grow your business, the way that you could become very impactful, have a big impact, and the way that you could reach lots of people was to actually run workshops, training sessions, and so on. And in my head, I was like, I have not set up as a life coach to go and do the thing that I'm most fearful of. So I absolutely refused throughout the training to engage with that prospect. And lo and behold, if like 1 or 2 years into running my own business, it was like, actually, what would be really sensible, Rachel, is to run training sessions. And that's what I started to do. And I became fairly comfortable with it. And I was like, right, okay, I need to take it to the next level. And because that's what we do as entrepreneurs, isn't it? We're always prepared to take it to the next level. And the next level, I decided to throw myself in there, and I signed up to run a female networking group here in York, and it was for entrepreneurial ladies, which at the time were not my soulmate clients. And what it actually resulted in, and I knew this at the time I was signing up, and it was the reason why I signed up to run the networking events, is I knew that I would have to stand up live every single month and present. And I did that for 3.5 years, and guess what I discovered? Once I worked on my fear, once I let go of that fear, and we'll talk about how you can do that in a little while, I discovered after all those years of hiding away from speaking opportunities, I discovered that I have a real love of speaking to groups of people, individuals, groups of people, large groups of people. And I never gave myself that opportunity until I worked on my fear. So the fear of visibility is absolutely massive for lots and lots of us, and it means that we keep ourselves small. If I hadn't taken those leaps of faith, if I hadn't worked on releasing the fear that I felt about speaking in public, I probably wouldn't have the business that I've got today. I wouldn't get the opportunities that I get today. Today I was already speaking to somebody about another speaking event, which is a really brilliant opportunity, and I'm really, really excited about it. And I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't be comfortable speaking on camera, going live, running webinars, whatever it is. So working on your fear is really, really essential. Now, I wish I could give you a magic wand and say, here you go, wave this wand and all will be well. But fear isn't like that. And Susan Jeffers wrote the book, didn't she? Face your fear and do it anyway, or feel the fear and do it anyway. And it is a case of that. And you've all seen it, haven't you? You've all seen it when people have had a fear of heights and they've gone skydiving. So they've faced the fear, they've accepted that that's their fear, but they've faced it and they've gone and taken action. And that's exactly what I experienced when I decided to work on my visibility. And what I want for you is for you to have the confidence to use the next part to understand, firstly, like, what is the fear? What is holding you back right now? Because there will be something, and there is for everybody. And for you to have a way of moving through it just like I did. And the other thing that I would say about this is that one of the other reasons why I'm really glad that I haven't got a magic wand for you about this is because as an entrepreneur, it is a journey, and it's a journey of self-discovery and personal growth. And if there was just a magic wand where one day you're happy with your visibility, you wouldn't have had the opportunity to grow. And this is what you're allowing yourself to do when you work on your fear. Your fear might not be about visibility, it might be something else. So here's an interesting fact about fear. You can only feel either fear or love. You can't feel both. So what do you do when you're feeling fearful? You've got to replace that feeling with love. So now we're going to get into the practical side of things about how you can reduce that feeling of fear and actually reframe it into like embracing the love of what you do, the love that you've got for your business, the love that you've got for your audience, for your clients, for your offer, whatever that is. So this is how we switch from fear into overcoming fear and being able to take action, because that's what we want you to do. So the first thing is for you, like every day if possible, but to have a part of your day where you are deeply connected to your soulmate clients, that you are deeply connected with your mission, with your vision, with your why, that you remind yourself on a daily basis why on earth you show up on this crazy journey and throw yourself out of the window every single day. And it's about connecting with that passion that actually got you to this place in the first place. And if you've not done that work for a little while, just journal it out. Journal out the reasons why you're in business, what you're passionate about, what you're making a stand for on behalf of your awesome clients. And it's allowing yourself to fill up with that future vision that you've got for your business and being able to see that outside of where you are right now, being able to see where you are moving towards, what excites you. So, soon everybody's going to be talking about 2020. So it's thinking about like, what do you want your business to look like in 2020? Don't worry about the how or I can't do that because I'm fearful of this. Just think about where you want to be in 2020 and allow that feeling to really fill you up. Because the way that you move through fear is that you make your desire, you make your passion, your drive bigger than fear, the thing that you are fearful of. And that's exactly what I did in 2012 when I decided that I was all in to grow my business. I decided that I was actually going to make that vision that I had for my business and for my life much, much bigger than my fear of speaking in public. So the way that you overcome fear is that you replace that emotional feeling of fear with that feeling of love. And the way that you do that for your business is that you allow yourself to reconnect on a daily basis the whole reason why you're here, and like inspirational visualizations into like where you want your business to be in 3 months time, 6 months time, 12 months time, and you keep that vision and that reason and that purpose and that why really close and really clear. You might want to vision board it, you might want to create a Pinterest board about it, you might want to journal, all sorts of different things that we've talked about here previously. But it's really about really connecting with that passion and being excited about it. And the other thing about fear is that the best thing you can do with fear, and again we talked about the experiences that I've had, the experiences where people have been scared of heights and have thrown themselves out, they've gone skydiving. The thing with fear is the best way to start to understand what is holding you back, what your key challenges are, is for you to write down those things that you just don't do in your business. Perhaps you understand that it's fear that's holding you back. Perhaps it's other things that you would like to think that you could do, but you currently aren't. So write down fear. And the best thing you can do with fear is to look fear in the eye and to give yourself that kind of acknowledgement that you are here to work on that fear, that you are here to move past that fear and to the point of realising your dreams and your aspirations. So the kind of practical exercise here, you're always going to get some actions from me, aren't you? The practical side of things is to write down your fear. Write it all down. Write it down until you feel as though you've exhausted, and then just ask yourself, what else? And just keep asking yourself, what else, what else, what else? And it allows you to drill down. So you now got that list of fear. And the thing that you want to do now is kind of turn that over and write down what your business and what your life looks like on the other side of that fear. So if the fear did not exist, I want you to write down everything that your business would look like, what you'd be doing in your business, who you'd be working with, the money that you'd be generating, the opportunities you'd be saying yes to. What does that look like? And therefore, what is the positive impact on your life? So, how do you live? Who do you live with? Where do you live? What choices are you making because of the success that you've had in your business? And you want to really connect with, oh my God, this is what I am calling in 2020. Again, it's allowing that excitement and that passion to come through. Sometimes we get so ground down, don't we? So ground down that we don't do this, and then we're like low vibe, and we want to be high vibe in our business as much as possible. So you really want to connect with that feeling of like everything that I have written down here, everything is possible, and everything is possible, and it's on the other side of my fear. And then you want to look at that, look at your list of fear and choose one thing that you are committing today on taking action on. So yours might be a long story like mine was. My kind of fear of speaking in public took, I would say it took 18 months, but I started. That is the whole point. So sometimes these things are really fast. You might have a fear of doing lives. Just get on, do a live. Once you've done this practical work, then you just keep on building it. But you might have a fear, such as mine, that it's like 6 months, 12 months, 18 months of work. But the most important thing is that you start. So that is how you overcome fear. There isn't a magic wand. Yes, there's some NLP exercises that you can do. There's some mindset work that you've done, which I've just discussed here. The most important thing is that you commit to overcoming that fear. So depending on your personality types, you might go for like a really big fear like I did, or you might go for a small one. If you go for a really big fear, what's really cool about that is that you can see what the kind of repercussions are. What other fears are you going to diminish? So what I'd like for you to do is to ask me any questions. So just put #replay and ask me any questions that you've got about the content that I've shared today. And then what I'd love to hear is, what fear, as a result of this training, of this live, what fear are you committing to taking forward? Because if you are spending your time listening to this content, you really want to get an outcome from that. I really want to encourage you to take, if you are going to take some time listening to content, is that you always take something from it. So from today's content, I really want for you to choose one fear that is currently stopping you from playing the version of the game, of the business that you want to have, that's stopping you, and committing to working on it. And if you want any ideas about how you get over it, just let me know. I'd be really, really happy to let you know. So I'm going to give a shout out to my event that's happening on Wednesday the 9th of October here in York. And if you're thinking, oh my God, I do have fear and I do need to work on it, that event is a great time to actually do this, because what you will be doing is, in that event, you will be learning a lot about your mindset. You'll be working on your mindset. I'll be sharing different NLP techniques that you can use to eliminate fear, build belief, increase confidence, whatever it is that you need. But I'll also be showing you how to gracefully get more clients. And the kind of second half of the event I'm running in York is that I will be then masterminding and strategizing with you so that you walk away with a plan for Q4 and 2020 where you have the stepping stones to get you to that point that you can see that you want to get to in 2020. So this event it's not for everybody. It's not for those people who are like, oh, well, that's something that I'll do another time. It's not for people who aren't prepared to take action. This is an event for women who are like, this is my time. Regardless of what's happening in our political minefield in the UK, regardless of the fact that it's, nearly 2020, it's like for women, this event is for women who are like, do you know what, this is my time. I'm taking control, I'm ready to take action, I want Rachel's help and support to do that. And this is for women who are, the dreamers, the people who are not going to settle for earning, small amounts of money every month, that you're here to work with more of your clients, to have a bigger impact, to change your life. This is what this event's for. So it's happening on Wednesday the 9th of October. I'll put the link below. It's a full price now, but you still get everything. You get the private Facebook group, you get the bonus, you get to come and work with me, and it's still £215. It's an absolute, you get like 9:30 till 4:30, I think it is, working with me. If you were to do that on a one-to-one basis, it would be £1,000. And it'd be £1,000 well spent as well. But that's just to give you an indication of the value that you will receive from that event. And if you like, oh, I keep hearing Rich talk about this event and I wonder if it's for me, I really, it's like 2 weeks away. I really don't want for you to miss out on this opportunity if it's just the thing, the catalyst that you need to boost your business, to give you some ideas, to give you the space to actually work on your business. Okay, so that's it for me. Today I am running a masterclass over on my page at 10 a.m. on Thursday, where I'll be talking about how to nail the right time to actually bring in a group offer into your business. So if you want a little bit of that, let me know. If you've got any questions about today's content, just drop me a note down here and I'll be really happy to help and support you with that. Okay, have a really great day. Bye for now.